With this big Bulls season right around the corner, all eyes are squarely on one man, Nikola Vucevic. He will be traded this season and remains the key piece we have to offer other teams like the LA Lakers, the Golden State Warriors, or any serious playoff team who has big trouble with their bigs. Hey everybody, welcome to Bulls Digest. So happy to have you here. Great show for you today. We're going to be covering everything about Nikolai. He's been on the trade block literally for an eternity. We're going to break down where he can go, what we see in best value, and also where we think we can maintain the most quality in this new Bulls young core. But before we get started, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like and subscribe button. We noticed 67.5% of you are stopping by and not subscribing, and you definitely want to subscribe because you want to stay up to date on all things Chicago Bulls. Well, what do you say we get started? This will be fun. So one of the options that is here, we've been talking to Golden State a lot. So you've seen it on the channel and you've seen it everywhere. Quinten Post. He's young. He's only this is going to be his second full year, and he is very raw. But the Golden State Warriors saw enough upside to not trade with us for Vuk at the deadline. That could be a totally different scenario this season. We can just tell you right away, the reason that's going to be a different scenario is because he's got to make that big development leap, whereas they were just using him as a stopgap before the playoffs, and they know that, yeah, Vuk probably would have been the better call. So what I'm saying is they might get a free do-over. We might be able to swap big for big, and we would take that one a million times over because Quinten Post really does match kind of what we're doing in that European style spread the ball offense, which could be a really fun thing. I think it could be the right piece. I would like to see where it goes, but I think it is the right piece. We can take a quick look at his just baseline stats. We'll dig down on the deeper stats later, but on the baseline stats, he's got 8 points per game for the 2024-2025 season, 3.5 rebounds, 1.3 assists, good field goal percentage, 44.9, 45%. Dunleavy, even later in the video, comments on that. That's very good. Those are all really good things to have. That would be a very nice match here with what we have. The thing is, it's not quite as perfect of a fit, and there's going to be some developmental time because you know what we're trying to replace: 18 minutes with Vuk, or 18 points with Vuk, and we're only at 8. So that 10, you'd have to split 5 and 5 with someone coming off the bench. Very doable, very, very doable. It's just a question of, will it work? Our other possibility with the Lakers is their big man that they just re-signed, Deandre Ayton. And Deandre Ayton is solid. He fits in well with the older vets. He likes them. The thing is, it might be a short-lived honeymoon there. I'm going to explain why later in the video, and you're going to hear it from himself where he's not getting quality time with JJ or with LeBron. I mean, winning solves all that stuff, so don't worry too much about it, but it is an area of concern. If he at any point is not happy or comes out very sluggish out of the gate and is not producing, look for the Lakers to be ringing up Arturis right away and maybe questioning about Vuk for a straight-up swap. I would like to see that because that would be high value for us. He fits in very well with the system, not quite as well as Post. He comes more finished as a product with his ability to score, spread the floor, and play defense than Post does. Post fits more into our system. So one has so Post is a better fit, but he's raw. He needs work and he needs to be coached up, whereas Ayton does not. And that's basically the difference that we're looking at there. Now, if you look at his numbers, significantly higher. So, by 14.4 points, 10 rebounds a game, 1.6 assists, and look at that field goal percentage. Ding, 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 56.6. Do you understand? That's more of a finished product that's ready to go. That's fresh out of the box, and that is legit. So, the real issue for us that we have is which one of those two would be a better fit aside from all the other teams. What about the quarter of the teams that we're going to run into who have big trouble, whether it's an injury, they start out sluggish, they're out for the season. All of a sudden that phone's going to be ringing and our first number one option is Vuk. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. So moving on, we can look at Quinten Post numbers with a little deeper dive. So one thing that's really glaring is his rebounds per game would have to go up if he wanted to be our true number. If we wanted to start chewing into Vuk's numbers. So the areas that he needs the most is minutes, points, rebounds, assists. Not as much assists. I don't care because we're going to be able to spread the floor 1 through 4. He doesn't need the assists. What I need to see are those blocks. Those blocks at 0.04. Those steals at 0.04. I need his turnovers to come down a little too because he's only in 16 minutes and he's turning the ball over once. That's adding to our turnover problems. We don't want to do that. Now, the thing to remember though is he is younger, as I said. He's raw. But the thing is, so it was okay for Dunleavy not to pull the trigger with us with Vuk last season. Whereas this season, I think if he does, that's going to tell me that they did a lot of work with him in the offseason and not a lot stuck. And you're going to be able to look at that. So look at Golden State's numbers when you look at those box scores and look at his numbers specifically, because if there's a bit of a hinge, that might be a warning, danger, probably not ready for prime time. That's just my guess. As I can quote Dunleavy, though, from last season, this is what he was doing at the time. As far as Post. Post adds an element that we don't have. Yeah, big man, 7 feet. And frankly, we were kind of looking for it in the trade market. Vuk, specifically Vuk, this is when it happened. And we said, hey, wait a second. Maybe we have this right now in-house. And it's been nice to see his progression the last year. Yes, hey, maybe we don't have the money and we don't want to pay Vuk right now. We think we can get by with our lesser guy. And now, how did that work out for them? Not very well. So that's Mike Dunleavy back in time. Now, if you ask Mike Dunleavy, if Post starts out slow or if they don't gel or click, look for that phone to ring for Arturas and look for a quick offer for Vuk. Now, that still might work to our advantage for one major reason. He fits better in our system than their system. They're a bunch of vets. They're all vets out there. There's Jimmy Buckets. There's Curry. So just tons of vets. And now we have tons of young, and he's young. He might fit just very, very well with that. That's what makes it kind of special. So when we think about our next option, it is Deandre Ayton. And Deandre Ayton, you can see points way up. Bing, 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 bing. 14.4. Rebounds per game. 10.2. Yes, digging it with a shovel. Assists per game. That don't need assists for my big. Blocks, 1 has to go up. Steals per game. Anything you get. If you get that, that's fine. Almost 2 turnovers a game. That's not good. No foul trouble, which is good. So you're getting a 27-year-old guy who's very established, who understands the floor and understands exactly what he's doing. That could be a very nice piece for us. Between the two, there's still you have to see how it all plays out as the season starts, because there's going to be a lot of issues, whether people go down, whether people gel, whether they do gel or don't. And with him specifically, there may be an issue. He's saying specifically, I'm playing with LeBron or JJ yet. He goes, yeah, I haven't. Something I've been waiting on. Yeah, just got to prepare. I'm going to do my own thing. JJ and the coaching staff, they'll probably have to put something together for us to really build chemistry. So if Deandre Ayton is relying on Kerr and the coaching staff to build all that chemistry, that's not a good sign, which means he just signed a 2-year contract. He could be up for that. So I'm saying these are 2 bigs that would be serviceable on a high level as long as our coaches bring them in and get them right in the exact mindset that we need to have them in. And I think there's a possibility that could be a very nice flow, a very nice stream, and this could work. That's just my take on it. You guys, please let me know what you think in the comments. I always like to hear from you. And please make sure to hit that subscribe button, because we want to keep you up to date on all things Chicago Bulls, especially with Vuk this season. And the season is right around the corner, so we're about ready to roll. Till next time, my Bulls friends. See you later.